Hello everyone! In this video we will be going over different forms of publishing from ArcGIS Pro. This will be broken down into three parts. The first will go over how to share a web map, and the second is how to share a web layer. And the final part will be publishing with branch versioning. So let's get started. In this demonstration, we will go over how to share as a web map to your active portal. Before starting, please make sure to have an account with privileges to create content and publish web layers. I will be using the portal admin account for this demonstration. However, you may want to utilize a specific enterprise account to have the ability to access and work with your own content based on organizational needs. If you are uncertain of these permissions or privileges, always feel free to reach out to us in ROK by speaking to your client success manager and scheduling a review. Now, on the map we have our polygon and points ready to go, and the next step is to publish this as a web map. We can do this by going to the Share on the top ribbon, then selecting the web map icon. Here we will be able to give a name, add a summary, and tags. For this example, I want to name my map Test, and the same will go for summary and tags. We will then select a configuration by clicking on the drop-down right here. Based on your project, these settings will differ, but for this scenario, we would like to share a web map with editing capabilities. So we will select editable. We will also select the one under the reference category, since I'm working with an enterprise geodatabase that has already been registered to the federated server. We'll store this in the portal admin root folder, but to create new folders, just go ahead and click on this, type in your folder, and it'll go ahead and create the folder for you. For this scenario, we're just using the portal admin root folder. We also wish to share this content to a specific group in the organization, so we will select the ArcGIS Enterprise option, then select the drop-down near Groups, and select the desired group. If we wish to share this to the public, then the Everyone setting would be the best option. If you wish to not share this at all, leave all options unchecked and only the owner of the item and the administrator can see this web map. At the top of the pane, we can go ahead and see configuration. If we select it, we can see the web map that is being created, the map image, and the feature layer that is being created as well. We can hover over the feature service or the map service and change the settings if needed by selecting them and then going to properties. In this case, we don't need to, but if you wish, you can go ahead and do so. Now we are ready to publish this map. The first step is to go ahead and select the Analyze button, which will go ahead and analyze everything from errors and warnings. And if we are good to go, we can go ahead now and share by clicking on the Share button to publish this web map. Our web map has been shared, and now we can go ahead and navigate to Portal, where we can see that we have successfully published our web map and all of its layers. For this demonstration, we will be going over how to publish a feature layer from ArcGIS Pro to Portal. There are several forms of feature layers that can be published, but for this scenario, we will be sharing a feature layer that references registered data to ArcGIS Enterprise. Before we get started, please make sure to be signed into your active portal in ArcGIS Pro. I will be using the portal admin account. However, any enterprise account with privileges to publish server-based layers will be able to achieve this workflow as well. Now, on the map, we have our polygon and points ready to go, and the next step is to publish this feature layer. We can do this by going to the Share tab, clicking on the Web Layer dropdown, and selecting the Publish Web Layer option. This will open up the Share as a Web Layer pane on the right-hand side, where we will go ahead and give it a name, summary, and tags. I will go ahead and name my map Test, and the same will go for the summary and tags. For this example, we would like to publish a referenced feature layer, so we will go ahead and make sure that the map image is toggled on, which by default it should be, and then check on the feature option, both under the reference registered data category. We will store this feature layer into the test ROK folder, and we have already registered our data source to the federated server, but to add or manage data stores, feel free to click on this icon to navigate to that pane. Now we will go ahead and add a group. And then navigate to the Configuration tab above. For this scenario, I would like to add the ability to export data for my feature layer. So I will go ahead and open the feature layer setting by clicking on the pencil on the right-hand side, then checking on the export data option. Now that I have selected all my desired settings, I am ready to publish. We will now select the Analyze button to check for any errors and warnings. Once everything looks good, I will select Publish to proceed with publishing. Now that the tool has successfully completed, we can navigate to Portal and see our newly published feature layer. For this demonstration, we will go over how to publish branch version data. This is very similar to the workflows used before when publishing a web map or an ordinary feature layer, but with a few additional settings. Before we start, please make sure the database has been set to branch versioning by right-clicking the database and going to Geodatabase Connection Properties and making sure the branch is toggled on. Also, make sure that the data has been registered as versioned. For this, we are working on the points branch versioning, so we'll go ahead and select that, right-click it, go to Manage, and you can see that we have registered this as versioning with branch versioning, along with all the other things that come along with it by default. I will be using the Portal admin account, but any enterprise account can achieve this workflow as long as the user has the appropriate permissions to edit and privileges to the data. If there are any questions, always feel free to reach out to us in ROK, and we will be happy to assist. Now, on the map, we have our points data ready to go, and the next step is to publish as a feature layer with versioning capabilities. We can go ahead and right-click the layer in the Contents pane, go down to Sharing, and select the Share as Web Layer option. This will open up the Share as Web Layer on the right-hand side, which we will add a name, summary, and tags. Make sure that the map image option is toggled on, and check on the feature option as well. We will store this feature into the test ROK folder, and we have already registered our data source to the server as well. So we will just go ahead and add this to a group. and then navigate to the Configuration tab at the top. In the Configuration tab, we will check on the version management option, which will be down below. This gives us the ability to create named versions, edit in those versions, as well as reconcile and post to the main default version. We will also go ahead and check the instance type and make sure that dedicated instance is toggled on as well. By default, it should already be set to this, but it is always good to make sure. Now that I have selected all my desired settings, I am ready to publish. We will now select the Analyze button to check for any errors or warnings. Once everything looks good, we will go ahead and click on the Publish icon to proceed with publishing. Now that the tool has successfully completed, we can now navigate to Portal and see our newly published feature layer enabled for branch versioning.